So I'm just gonna make a small story about my limited experiences in PC gaming. Basically, the only game I would play since I got this computer in 2014 was DC Universe Online, and that was mainly because of this situation with the controller disconnects. This controller would always disconnect on the other games after I played them for 1 or 2 hours. And I thought, it's because the RAMs, the game has intensive RAM use, and the computer's too slow, and I thought, maybe it's like something to do with the the connection even. So I split the connection and I soldered the connections and I taped it very well. I would still get controller disconnects. So guess what it was? After 5 years of having this computer since 2013 of Christmas, it was like I was actually able to, because usually the game would start disconnecting my controller after an hour or two of gameplay, and then I just quit. So I could never rank. But here, I just ranked in War Thunder, like to the top tier in just 2 days. Like I have a 6.0 tank now. I could never get good skills because I can never concentrate. Like if you play it for an hour, you're not gonna get really good at it. You have to play it for like 3 or 4 hours. So this is my newest IS tank. It's a 6.3. So that's why I wasn't playing this game, and that's why I wasn't playing games like Warframe for more than 2 hours at a time or 4 hours at a time, because I didn't like controller disconnects. I could avoid the controller disconnect by keeping the controller still, and it worked for Warframe. But this game has you have to concentrate more, and you tend to move the controller when you are in the plane mode, so it's very annoying. So, how did I fix that? No, I didn't buy a new controller because I thought it would happen to a new controller. I thought, that's the Xbcd drivers. I thought maybe signatures were involved or something. Nope. There was not signatures at all. The joint, I just wrapped the joint in a rod, so the soldered connections have no ability to move at all. And then I put a twist tie around it, and I I taped, because it was disconnecting there too, because that was moving around the solder joints to the circuit board. So I taped that and I put a twist tie there. So both of these joints do not move at all anymore. Like that's a straight. That's like glued and taped with a twist tie, and that is a twist tie and a rubber band. No disconnects whatsoever. I can move the controller around like I'm playing a normal controller now. And a lot of people were complaining about this, and they were wondering, why it does that. And I did download a driver once and didn't disconnect, so I thought, they were putting. I thought that Windows 7 was incompatible with the USB, the wattage on the USB ports. That's actually what I thought. I thought, the the wattages on these old controllers are way too weak, which is probably true. Hence the solder joints disconnect. very easily, or the connector even disconnects if you get a connector to it. So that's what I thought, because it worked perfectly on Windows 7 32-bit. Like, it didn't disconnect as much on 32-bit. I had that for a while, and it didn't disconnect that much. So I thought, it was a 64-bit thing. I thought 64-bit had these weird drivers. I thought, you have to put in test mode. I thought, maybe the signature, maybe you can detect the signature through the registry, spyware or something. No, bullshit. I mean, that's part of the reason is, more resources are used in 64-bit, so more RAM. But, it was the solder joints. So you just do that trick on the controller. Finally, after 5 freaking years, you do that trick on the controllers, and it no longer disconnects on Steam and whatnot, and those other games that use. Mind you, this is for a low RAM system. I doubt someone with like a i7 or something and 16 gigs of RAM would have this problem. But maybe they would. It is an outdated controller with 500 milliamps. Like, it's very weak, and the voltage doesn't go into it. But that's it. You find your joint, you wrap it with a rubber band, and a twist tie helps. And then you fold it and wrap it with a rubber band twist tie so it doesn't move. And you find your other joint on the top of the controller, and you wrap it with glue and tape, and then twist tie it. Twist tie whatever that pressure point is that you don't want to bend. So you just don't want that to bend, and you don't want that joint to bend. Very simple.